No, I'm gonna show you the best way to do this kind of stuff for walking and running, and it's called blend space. So for creating a blend space, let's just go to content drawer, and in our third person in here, let's just disable this search, create a new folder, for example, and I want to call it animation. And in here, right click, go to animation. You can see there is a lot of tools for having some cool animations. And the one that I want to show you this time is the blend space 1D. Okay, just click on it and it will tell you which skeleton you want to create a blend space 1D or one dimension. And I want to create it for Murdoch, and I want to call it BS for blend space, and I want to use it for run walk. Okay, I want to call it BS for blend space run walk. Okay, and now let's just double click on it to open it, and you can see it's just look like a animation sequence, right? But it has some new things to it, like this panel in here, right? So first of all, we have a skeleton tree, we have asset details, we have asset browser, and you can see it's like before. We have detail panel as well. It's just like any animation sequence, but it gives us some options. So why we should use this blend space? For example, when we are idle and we want to go to walk, we wanted to blend this idle animation with the walk animation together. When we want to run instead of the walk, we want to blend the walk and run animation together. So now I'm going to show you how you can do that with this blend space. So first thing to do, in here you can see we have horizontal axis, okay, and it's give us a value between 0 and 100. So first of all, in here we can add some animation. So for example, let's just find the idle animation, idle, and I want to put it at 0, okay, because this horizontal axis, I want to use it as a speed. So if the speed is 0, it will be at idle because I put the idle animation in here. No, let's just find the walk forward, and I want to put it, for example, here at the middle, right? So right now it will tell us when the speed, okay, is 50, for example, it will go to walk animation. And if we hold the space in here, you can see this green cross in here. If you hold, you can see it blend between these two animation, the idle and the walk animation, and we can have multiple ones. So for example, let's just use run animation, run forward, and I want to put it in here, right? So whenever the speed is 0, it will go to idle, and whenever the speed is 180, for example, or 200, it will go to walk animation, and whenever the speed is 400, for example, it will go to run animation, and it will blend all of them together, right? So now you can see the value for horizontal axis is between 0 and 100, but the speed of our character is between 0 and 400. So we should change that. For changing that, you should go to asset detail, go to horizontal axis in here. First of all, let's just change this name to a speed, okay? And it will tell you minimum axis value, we want it to be 0, and maximum axis value, I want it to be 400. So next option, it will give us some option in here. For example, a snap to this grid or grid division to 4. We have 3 condition in here. One of them is idle, one of them walking and running. So if we have 2 division, it will be okay. So now let's just change the position of the run to here to 400. You can see 400. And change the walk animation that is in here to 200. So no, if we hold control, whenever the speed is 0, it will go to idle animation, and when the speed is 200, in this case, it will go to walk, and whenever the speed is 400, it will go to run. But the speed right now, we want it to be 180, not 200. Right now it is in 200. So we can change this grid division so we can reach that, like 20, for example, right? So now if I put this here, you can see the speed is 180. So whenever we reach the speed of 180, it will walk, and whenever the speed is 400, it will run. So now with that, we have this blend space and we can add it to our animation blueprint. So what I want to do, I want to delete this running animation. Sorry about that, because I just wanted to show you the old way and the best way together. You should know both of them. So delete that. And I want to change the name of this to walking and running. Whatever you want to call it, it will be okay. Now double click on it, you can see it just have walk animation. I want to delete that and I want to use our blend space animation. So I want to search for BS. Okay, you can see BS run walk that we just create. Let's just put it here. And there is a speed input in here. Why there is a speed input in here? Because in this horizontal axis, we call it the speed. We can just call it whatever we want. M speed, okay? If we change it here, save it, and go to in here, you can see again it's M speed. So it needs a speed to decide which animation should blend together and which animation should be happening, right? Let's just connect these, and with that we can just use this speed variable in here, get it and connect it to here. Now let's just compile and run our game. You can see it will blend two animation together. You can see it is very cool and it is easy to work with, right? Everything cool with that, but this blend space give us a lot of options. So for example, in here in a smoothing time, we want a smooth between two animation, right? Between idle and walk and run, right? So in here, I want to change the speed in here to 0.3, for example. And it will tell you what a smoothing type you want to use, and you can use whatever you want. At default, it is a spring damper, and you can play with these options to reach whatever you want. So let's just play it now, and you can see it's a smoother. It transition between animations smoother, right? It's not jumping, it's not instantly go to walking and go to idle, right? So just play with these, with all of these options to find the good thing for you. At most cases, we use ease in and ease out, right? So let's just save that and run our game. You can see it is better now. Just play with these options so you can reach whatever you want. It depends on what you want, right?